Hello everyone, you're on the channel Who Created It and How. Today we're looking up, way up, to explore a question that has captivated humanity for millennia. How did we learn to draw the sky? It seems simple now, with our satellites and high-powered telescopes, but for our ancestors the vast expanse above was a canvas of gods, myths, and cosmic mysteries. So, how do we go from seeing divine beings in the clouds to understanding the intricate dance of celestial bodies? Let's find out. Our journey begins in the ancient world, long before the invention of the telescope. For civilizations like the Egyptians and Mesopotamians, the sky was not just a physical space but a divine realm. The Egyptians, for example, saw the sky as the goddess Nut. Her body arched over the earth god Geb. Her star-covered form represented the heavens, and the sun god Ra would journey across her body each day. Their depictions weren't about astronomical accuracy. They were religious and symbolic. They drew what the sky meant to them, a home for their gods and a source of cosmic order. The stars weren't just dots of light, they were part of a grand, divine narrative that explained creation, life, and the afterlife. Similarly, in Mesopotamia, the Babylonians were meticulous sky watchers. But their goal wasn't to create a realistic painting of the night sky. They were developing astrology. They mapped the constellations to track the movements of the planets, which they believed were omens from the gods. Their celestial maps, etched onto clay tablets, weren't artistic renderings but complex charts and almanacs. They divided the sky into the 12 signs of the zodiac, a system we still recognize today. For them, drawing the sky was about decoding its messages, predicting the future, and understanding the will of the gods. The sky was a text to be read, not a landscape to be painted. As we move into ancient Greece, a monumental shift begins. While myths and gods were still central to their culture, a new way of thinking emerged: philosophy and science. Greek thinkers like Aristotle started to observe the sky with a more rational eye. He proposed a geocentric model of the universe, with the Earth at the center, surrounded by crystalline spheres holding the moon, sun, planets, and stars. This wasn't just a story, it was a scientific model based on observation and logic. The Greeks began to draw the cosmos not as a home for gods, but as a structured, mechanical system. The diagrams were geometric, focusing on orbits and celestial mechanics. This was a pivotal moment. The sky was becoming an object of scientific inquiry. Of course, this transition wasn't immediate. The Romans inherited much of the Greek worldview, and their art often blended mythology with emerging astronomical knowledge. Think of the famous Farnese Atlas sculpture, where the Titan Atlas holds not the Earth, but a celestial sphere covered in constellations. This sphere isn't a random collection of stars. It accurately depicts the constellations as known to Greek astronomers like Hipparchus. It's a beautiful fusion of myth and science, showing how art and astronomy were still deeply intertwined. For them, drawing the sky was about organizing the cosmos, giving a human-like form to the star patterns, and preserving this knowledge in a visually stunning way. The Middle Ages in Europe are often called the Dark Ages, but when it came to depicting the sky, things were far from dark. They were brilliantly illuminated. In medieval manuscripts, the sky was once again a profoundly religious space. Christian cosmology, influenced by Aristotle but adapted for theology, depicted a universe with Earth at the center and heavens above, leading up to God's throne. These illustrations are stunning. They feature angels, saints, and divine light, often set against a backdrop of gold leaf. The sky wasn't just air and stars, it was a spiritual ladder. The goal wasn't scientific realism, it was to inspire awe and devotion, to show the viewer their place in a divinely created and ordered universe. The artist drew a theological sky, a map of salvation. Meanwhile, in the Islamic Golden Age, science was flourishing. Astronomers in Baghdad, Cairo, and Samarkand were making incredible advances. They preserved and translated ancient Greek texts, but they also made their own groundbreaking observations. They built massive observatories, created incredibly detailed star catalogues like the Book of Fixed Stars by Al-Sufi, and invented instruments like the astrolabe. The drawings of the constellations were far more accurate than anything that had come before. They corrected errors made by Ptolemy and added new stars. Their work was precise and mathematical. For them, drawing the sky was a scientific endeavor, a way to map the creation of Allah with as much accuracy as humanly possible. This knowledge would eventually find its way back to Europe, fueling the next great revolution. And that revolution was, of course, the Renaissance. This was the era when everything changed. The invention of the printing press meant knowledge could spread like never before. But the real game changer was a Polish astronomer named Nicolaus Copernicus. In 1543, he published his work suggesting that the Earth was not the center of the universe. Instead, he proposed a heliocentric model with the sun at the center. This was world-shattering. Suddenly, our place in the cosmos was completely re-evaluated. Artists and thinkers had to redraw not just the sky, but our entire understanding of reality. Then came Galileo Galilei. In 1609, he pointed a new invention, the telescope, towards the heavens. And what he saw changed everything forever. He saw mountains and craters on the moon, proving it wasn't a perfect divine sphere. He saw moons orbiting Jupiter, proving that not everything revolved around the Earth. He saw that the Milky Way was composed of countless individual stars. For the first time, someone was drawing the sky based on direct magnified observation. His simple ink sketches of the moon, its phases, and Jupiter's moons were some of the most revolutionary images in human history. They were proof. The sky was no longer a realm of gods or perfect spheres. It was a physical place, full of texture, detail, and discoverable truths. The artists of the time were right there with the scientists. The Baroque period saw painters like Adam Elsheimer depict the night sky with unprecedented realism. His painting. The Flight into Egypt is famous for being one of the first to show the Milky Way as a band of individual stars, and to accurately depict the craters on the moon, all inspired by Galileo's discoveries. The sky in art was no longer just a symbolic blue ceiling. It was becoming a deep, vast, and realistic space. This trend toward realism accelerated through the 18th and 19th centuries. The Age of Enlightenment celebrated reason and scientific observation. Astronomers like William Herschel built bigger and better telescopes, discovering new planets like Uranus and cataloging thousands of nebulae and star clusters. Artists, in turn, were fascinated by the sublime, the feeling of awe and terror inspired by the vastness of nature. Painters like J.M.W. Turner and Caspar David Friedrich didn't just paint pretty sunsets. They painted atmospheric, turbulent, and emotionally charged skies. Their work captured the new scientific understanding of the atmosphere, of clouds, weather, and light, but also the profound human emotional response to the infinite cosmos. Then, in the mid-19th century, another technological leap: photography. Suddenly, we could capture the sky directly. Early astronomical photography, or astrophotography, was difficult, but it allowed for a level of detail and accuracy that drawing could never match. We could now record the exact positions of stars, capture the faint glow of distant nebulae, and study the sun's surface without looking at it directly. The camera became the ultimate tool for drawing the sky, creating objective, data-rich images that propelled astronomy into the modern era. This doesn't mean that artists stopped drawing the sky. On the contrary, freed from the need for pure realism, they could explore the sky in new, abstract ways. Think of Vincent van Gogh's The Starry Night. This isn't a scientifically accurate depiction of the night sky. It's a swirling, emotional, and deeply personal vision of the cosmos. Van Gogh wasn't drawing what he saw with his eyes, but what he felt in his soul. The sky became a canvas for inner turmoil, spiritual yearning, and pure expressive color. In the 20th and 21st centuries, our ability to draw the sky has exploded. The Hubble Space Telescope, orbiting above our atmosphere, has given us images of breathtaking beauty and scientific importance. These are not drawings in the traditional sense. They are composite images created from data, captured in different wavelengths of light, color-coded to reveal structures and elements invisible to the human eye. We are literally painting with light from the dawn of time, from radio telescopes creating maps of cosmic background radiation, to probes like the James Webb Space Telescope peering into the universe's earliest moments. Our drawings of the sky are now incredibly complex data visualizations. So, from the divine body of a goddess to the data-driven images of deep space, the way we draw the sky tells the story of humanity itself. It reflects our beliefs, our fears, our science, and our art. Each era has looked up at the same sky but has seen and depicted something entirely different. It's a story of shifting perspectives, from a mythical home of gods to a scientific frontier. And as our tools and understanding continue to evolve, who knows how we'll be drawing the sky in another 1,000 years. Thanks for joining us on this cosmic journey through art and science. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more episodes of Who Created It and How. See you next time.